name is Charlie Gallahue, and welcome to The Learning Loop. Today we will be adding another episode to the Roboverse. Today we will be talking about AI has been a hot topic in today's society. It's been so noteworthy that it's even trended into the US Senate. Nowadays it seems like every facet of social media and the internet is having some kind of discourse about artificial intelligence, ethics, and their place in society. On the opposing side, you have people worrying about job scarcity, the environment, fossil fuels, and even this extreme possibility that AI could take over your job. Although some of these topics, especially AI taking over, can seem very far-fetched and we are very early in the development of this technology, there are serious concerns involving artificial intelligence. What we want to determine in this video is how much of a threat these issues are and what we can do to stop them if we even can at all. Whether we like it or not, AI will always be a part of our lives. For example, whenever we type anything on Google, AI immediately prompts a response based on whatever we ask. Look at this example.
We asked simply, who painted the Mona Lisa and what the significance of this painting is. AI immediately, without prompting, gave us a detailed 190-word response to our question. So what seems to be the issue? We were given what seems to be an in-depth analysis of our question in seconds. But what people often don't look at or care about is where this information came from or its indirect consequences. To the right of our image, we can see where this information came from. PBS, Britannica, Facebook, and other sites are all listed as sources of this information. And although PBS and Britannica could be deemed worthy, Facebook as an academic source is most certainly not. Students all around the world will ask questions similar to this one and sometimes even copy the entire response for their classwork.
Academic degradation is not the only concern, however. What we don't see every single time we use one of these AI resources is the environmental impact that we face with every single search. Better Planet Education, a UK-based organization, states in 2022, Google used 19.5 billion liters of water to cool its data centers. This was a 20% increase from 2021. They estimate that by 2027, they will use 6.6 billion cubic meters of water, which would be around twice what UK households consume every year. That number may seem concerning, but that's only one company. Aleksandra Borowska-Melnyk, a writer for Water Issues, a Polish magazine focused on environmental protection, stated in her article, a Dutch researcher has calculated that annually AI may require as much electricity as the entire city of New York. For reference, New York City hosts 8.58 million people. Melnyk also mentions the carbon emissions of AI, referencing the International Energy Agency, which estimates that data centers in 2024 accounted for 182 million liters of carbon emissions. It has become a popular idea to negate the potential damage that may come from this kind of behavior. But this problem is serious and needs to be addressed before our future walks a thin line. Now that we've addressed the physical impacts of artificial intelligence, let's look at some of the ethical disputes that have arisen. A popular discourse has been artificial intelligence's incorporation into already established job markets. We wanted to highlight healthcare and the US government specifically and discuss its place in those markets. Now, developing AI for a job market is especially difficult because it holds the lives of people in its hands. People all over the world are arguing whether or not we should try to automate something that takes so much precision and whether the effects that we see after its development are worth its potential lives lost. Not only are the questions about the ethics of this situation, but also the surmountable number of jobs we could lose that feed families all around the world. The National Library of Medicine gives us an interesting view from Damasito Cordero Jr. Cordero speaks on the abstract yet introspective view of that AI lacks the emotion necessary for healthcare. He states the harmonious doctor-patient relationship plays a vital role in the attainment of treatment and healing. Cordero is highlighting the fact that there needs to be a relationship between the doctor and the patient for this sought-after efficiency to occur. There have been numerous times where patients will withhold information because it may seem embarrassing or irrelevant to the process of a diagnosis. The job of the doctor is to unveil this information. It is a key necessity to working on the front lines of healthcare in our world, and that is not something that AI can do. Now that we've addressed the issue on the healthcare front, let's look at the complications of AI and its role in the government. Daryl M. West wrote in his article on Brookings, 72% of U.S. adults said they had concerns about AI. These adults are heavily concerned about privacy, cybersecurity, and lack of transparency. West writes how these concerns stem from real problems. There are many known and well-documented problems. AI hallucinations, where algorithms generate imaginary facts and act like they are real. He also states DOGE staffers have gained extraordinary access to government data with little oversight, raising widespread concerns about privacy intrusion. Now, enough talk about all of these problems with AI, and let's look at some proposed solutions for these problems that we have discussed.
In real time, we are seeing AI be unregulated and intrusive. Therefore, we want to provide some possible regulations that could be put into place. These are broad ideas to try to assist in the coexistence of AI. To address the environmental risk of AI, we suggest introducing a cap on the number of data centers that can be built by a single AI company. This would help save land for other necessary uses, reduce water consumption, and limit CO2 emissions. Another regulation that could be imposed onto these companies is a fine for exceeding a certain amount of water usage or carbon emissions. The amount that these companies are fined would not be a flat number, but instead a percentage relative to their income from these facilities. This would help ensure that companies feel enough weight and that larger companies wouldn't simply absorb these fines and continue their practices. As for healthcare, we would have AI involved only in trivial tasks. We want AI to increase efficiency, but not to deconstruct the fabric of the workforce. AI can be used for things like storing large amounts of doctors' forms and patient histories so that doctors or nurses can easily access and analyze them. This would help decrease wait times, especially during flu or unforeseen crises like the coronavirus pandemic. Finally, to address AI within the government, we believe it should have little to no involvement, at least for now. The government handles some of the most sensitive information, and with such an unproven technological system, it is risky to place so much trust in it so early in its development. At the very least, the government should put its use to a vote so that the general population can have a say in how their information is handled and have the option to opt out of an automated systems prone to data leaks.
Now, although there are strong arguments against AI integration and usage, there are also benefits in the right scenarios. In healthcare specifically, Junaid Bajwa writes in an article in the National Library of Medicine, cloud computing is providing the computing capacity for the analysis of considerably large amounts of data at higher speeds and lower costs compared with historic on-premises infrastructure of healthcare organizations. This aligns with earlier points about improving efficiency in healthcare systems. In terms of AI's environmental impact, companies are beginning to make progress. Xiaolei Ren and Adam Weirman write in the Harvard Business Review, other key innovations include the design of efficient AI model architectures and optimization algorithms to accelerate AI training and inference. Innovations like this could help reduce the massive amount of fossil fuels used in training AI programs. Finally, regarding AI and the U.S. government, this is the area that requires the most work. Michelle Kern writes in MIT Technology Review, in 2026, the battleground will shift to the courts. She explains that while some states may back down from passing AI laws, others will push forward due to public pressure. She also notes that Trump's executive order directs the Department of Justice to establish a task force that sues states whose AI laws clash with his vision for light touch regulation. This suggests that the federal government has a very strong agenda, potentially driven by a competitive desire to lead in AI development. They want to make sure that no other country exceeds them in AI infrastructure, and it seems that they are forgetting the risk that AI has to offer. This is why we have tried to pose some legitimate solutions to getting involved with AI integration. AI will likely play a role in our future, whether we have a say or not. However, society should have a voice in how these technologies are regulated. People deserve the opportunity to influence decisions that could significantly impact their future. And if we don't do something now, we could lose the chance to alter choices that are already being made. Thank you.
This is your warning.